Hello everyone, it's Patrick Haddad here. It's my first ever YouTube video. I never made a YouTube video before. And the title, yeah, so how to stay 6 to 8% body fat year round. Some pictures here, some fitness models, David Lade, Kino Body, Jeff Side, Mike Thurston. So here are my credentials. So I'm 17 years old. I've been, bodybuilding for about 2.5 years now. And kind of devoted my whole lifestyle to it, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. And I think that I'm a big believer in the reason that most people are in the gym and they're there day in, day out, doing the work, putting in the work, whatever, and just aren't progressing as fast as they can is one of two reasons. Number one, you're lazy and you know what to do, but you're just not doing it because you're lazy. Or number two, you have an information gap, especially when you're starting out, right? You don't know what to do. You go online, you search up for this beginner workout program, and it's trash. You're fed misinformation, and it's awful, right? So I think that me making a YouTube channel, kind of helping people out, will really be useful. So, is it your fault, right? How you eat is why you aren't able to get to the level of body fat you desire when you're cutting. More importantly, stay that lean. You might understand that you must be in a calorie deficit, but are you taking the right approach to it? So the struggle, right? You're in a calorie deficit. You're eating very small 4 to 6 meals spread throughout the day, maybe 3, I don't know. And you finally touch that 7 to 8% body fat level. But then you start going on and off because you keep going on binging rampages throughout the week of just filling your face with junk food because you're so hungry, right? You're totally ruining your diet and hard work. You blame yourself, you feel ashamed, and all the negative self-talk starts flooding your head. You undisciplined idiot, you'll never amount to anything, you suck, whatever. So, people want different results, but just do the same things over and over again. So I have a solution. This is more of a video directed towards bodybuilders, gym rats, gym bros, whatever, and more of a weightlifting audience. But I mean, if you do trail running, hot yoga, Pilates, whatever, you can still 100% find value in this video. If you're struggling to lose weight or something, just I urge you to just watch to the end, right? So ideally also you should be cutting after you've bulked or actually have a good amount of muscle to show off under your body fat, and now it's time to shine when you do cut. Regardless, having more lean muscle mass actually means you can lose fat easier. You're one Google search away from knowing that. Number 3, a skinny kid with abs is you can finish that one in the comments. Number 4, the scale is important, guys. Checking your weight week to week, you have to, but the mirror is key, right? Use the mirror as reference. If you don't like how you look for whatever reason, dude, make an adjustment to your lifestyle, right? And number 5, this is not medical advice. This is just some recommendations from what I do. And I'm not a healthcare professional or anything like that. So phase 1 or step 1, find your BMR or maintenance calories and subtract 200 to 300 calories from that. BMR is base metabolic rate or your metabolism function. And so chances are you're eating 4 to 6 meals a day, like I said, or maybe 3, and trying to eat enough protein. Typically, it's 0.8 grams to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. Maybe not. Maybe you're eating more. Maybe you're eating less. Some people eat 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So now you believe it's time to get shredded, dude. So first off, what you're going to do is go and plug in your info to a few calorie calculators and just take the average, or you can just go to a reliable one. And make sure you also plug in your activity level if it's an option on these calculators, especially if you play sports. You can't just plug in your height, your weight, and your age and expect the calculator to just give you accurate information. Needs to know how much calories you're burning day to day, just based off your activity level as well. You're going to look at your maintenance calories that you're going to eat to stay at that weight, and then just subtract 200 calories from that to begin. So guys, this is just a quick example. So basically Ricardo here here's Ricardo. Ricardo's 18 years old. He's 190 pounds. He's 6 foot tall, and he exercises daily. And this is just the exact stats that you would plug in right here, guys, on the calorie calculator, and literally just plug in this info right here. Activity is important. It also gives you a clarification chart down here, which is really cool. So you just plug that in, and what you're gonna do is find out. So this is your maintenance calories, guys. So for Ricardo to stay at 190 pounds, what's gonna happen is he has to eat 2,976 calories. Now he's ready to start his cut, right? He's bulked up, as you can see, and he wants to start cutting. He just subtracts 200. So now he's going to be eating 2,776. And the way he would do that really is just take away 200 calories worth of food from his meal plan. So let's say Ricardo is eating 4 meals a day. So for meal one, let's say he eats 4 eggs and 3 pieces of toast and, I don't know, some bacon. So now, instead of eating 3 pieces of toast, he's going to have 2 pieces of toast. And in meal 3, he has a protein shake, right? And in the protein shake, he has 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. He's just going to take away 1 tablespoon of peanut butter now. So super easy. That's probably more than 200 calories worth of food, but that's just kind of like how you would go about it, right? You would subtract the amount of, food you need to subtract. This is the flow chart or the framework that you're supposed to use, right? So Ricardo started by subtracting 200 calories, and he's gonna ask himself, am I losing weight, right? He's 190 pounds. He subtracted 200 calories worth of his food, and yes. Okay, so we want to keep the deficit amount the same. You don't want to go deeper into deficit if you're losing weight, right? You want to compare. You might not lose weight every day when you check on the scale, but what matters is, Sunday to Sunday or week to week, you make a significant weight change. So let's say, on a Sunday, week 1 Sunday, he weighs himself, he's 190 pounds. Next Sunday, he weighs himself and he's 189. Wow, he lost a pound of weight. That's pretty good, right? Just from subtracting 200. You don't then subtract another 200 or 100. You want to ride that wave and see how far you can go into the deficit. So what happens is he just keeps it the same, comes back up here. Am I losing weight? Oh, next Sunday after that, I'm not losing weight. Okay. So then he would subtract. So no. Then he would reduce his calories by 100 to 200, or just add more cardio. It's very important that you don't subtract calories before you hit a plateau. That's super, super important, right? Because what's going to happen is if you're too quick to reduce your calories, you're going to be losing muscle. And the point of a good cut is to keep a generous amount of muscle on while losing fat. You want to lose the least amount of muscle possible while doing your cut. So I hope this quick example helped, and back to the presentation. So at this point, where you're that hungry, you most likely are in the single-digit body fat range. Sometimes not. Sometimes you just are this hungry, and you're kind of pushing 11, 12%. If you're still in the 15% range and you're that hungry, I really think you should kind of select your food choices a bit better. But typically not. You're pushing the single digit range, and you're picking the satiating, more like satisfying foods, and you're still, you just can't stop thinking about food. These little meals spread throughout the day aren't filling you up, and you just can't focus on anything but food. The only thing keeping you going are the sick mirror selfies and the compliments you're getting at the pool. This diet and lifestyle seem miserable. You kind of have a contradiction here. You want to go out with your friends and go live that life, just look good, go out to the beach, the pool, wherever, but you can't because you're thinking about food. And if you do, then you're tempted. You can't eat anything. You can't, indulge in anything because, well, wow, I'm cutting. It's going to ruin my diet. Nice. So Phase 3, the part that makes it sustainable, fasting. Now, before you click off the video and get mad at me, I really urge you to stay and just listen, because it changed my life and I know it will change yours if you just give it a chance. So intermittent fasting is the best thing ever for maintaining a shredded physique and staying like that for however long you want, right? So by no means is fasting a good way to put on new muscle or an optimal way. It's just a way to maintain your shreds without being hungry 24/7, and even being able to go out and have a few, uh, non-diet foods. At some point, you have to ditch the small meals spread throughout the day model, because eventually it becomes torture when your calories get low enough and you start to hit the single-digit range. You should really understand that you aren't a bodybuilder prepping for a show, right? You're trying to look good for an extended period of time, not just one day on a stage. And just a note, guys, you can drop your calories even lower if you want while fasting. You're kind of like loving this model and you're like, okay, I want to get even leaner. Like, I think I can get more shredded doing this. Yeah, just drop the calories lower while fasting. And there's going to be an example and stuff later on. Just hear me out right now. So, how does it work, right? So basically what you're going to do is delay your first meal, so like breakfast, 5 to 6 hours after waking up. If you really want to get all the benefits from fasting, you can make sure to go 16 hours without food, and that's counting the time you sleep as well. But I find just like waking up and skipping breakfast and not eating for 5 to 6 hours works great too. You can do your own research on fasting and stuff like that. I recommend looking into Dave Asprey. I think I'm saying his name right. He's like a biohacker guy, but it's great information on fasting. Also, Andrew Huberman. Who else fast? Kino Body. To suppress your appetite, especially in the beginning, in the morning, you're kind of used to eating breakfast like right away. Drink water, coffee, and sparkling water. Coffee is a great appetite suppressant, and so is sparkling water. It's great, like the carbonation, and then water, of course, like it's not gonna break your fast. It's water, and a really important thing is don't put creamer or sugar in your coffee. Only sweetener allowed is stevia. Uh, don't risk it with like sucralose or aspartame or I forgot the third one. Our bodies tap into fat stores for energy if we stay fasted for an extended period of time. So not only are you eating less calories because you're skipping that first meal, you're also putting you're telling your body to use fat stores for energy, which makes it easier to get shredded, right? So when you break your fast, have a small but like satisfying meal, and I'll give you guys an example soon. Ideally, you should be training after this first meal, unless the only time you really can train or just works best for you is in the morning. You can train fasted in the morning, but it's just important to note that if you do train in the mornings, you should be eating a good amount of carbohydrates the previous night before. Now, this is optional, but like after training, this is like my personal experience. To have a protein shake with some fruit and maybe some like chicken breast just to kind of replenish glycogen after training and get some extra protein in. People who intermittent fast, they don't do this really. I just find that eating a snack, especially if you are an athlete, before practice and training, you're kind of dual athlete kind of thing or whatever. It's going to give you that little boost in the day. You probably will not be hitting 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and that's okay. Like, I know that's kind of like the industry standard or whatever for bodybuilding and just like people who lift weights in general. But again, this is to solely maintain the shredded physique for an extended period of time. And I'm telling you, you won't die, right? So really the reason why I love this, this model so much is the last meal. Now I want you to think about this, right? You've eaten those two, maybe just one if you don't have that little, shake that I was talking about. Just think about all the calories you have left to play with for dinner, right? Or your last meal of the day. For dinner, I would, of course, try to, load up on a good amount of protein, but now you can go out with your boys or girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever, and have a little bit of pizza, some, maybe some, chicken, some fried chicken, and even just some dessert if you want, if it aligns with your calories, right? You can have some steak, you have a big steak, you can have, some chicken teriyaki, you can have, whatever, your sushi, your favorite foods, dude, really. But of course, like, be aware and conscious of your decisions, right? Like, using calories on a cut It's like having to budget your money. I'm not telling you to go out and like just eat over your calorie like allotment, because that doesn't make any sense. Like, you have to still be at deficit. The point is you get a really like, non-diet food meal, dessert, like while you're on a cut. So it's just like, imagine that you're not really like confined against these lines, right? This last meal is gonna be super satisfying because it probably won't be, plain chicken and rice or plain, sweet potato and white fish or something like that. It's gonna be a good amount of it too, right? Here's my example day of eating. This is literally what I pretty much do every single day. I'm at 50 calories a day. So meal one, I have 4 eggs and I cook it in half a tablespoon of butter, and I put like half an ounce of cheddar in there. I have 1 potato, a 000. A 000 is the Oikos 000 yogurt. It's like 15 grams of protein. It's like 100 calories. Some pineapple, and then like 30 minutes later, I have a banana before training, and that's 670 calories, and that's 54 grams of protein. Now my filler meal is just a shake and sometimes some chicken tenderloin. That's it right there, and that's 650. Protein is 57 grams of that, and then meal 2 or 3, whatever. Like, it's amazing, dude. Like 1,230 calories left. Like, while I'm in a deficit, maintaining the 7 to 8% body fat range, like year round, right? Like, I can do this all the time. I just, I enjoy bulking sometimes, right? So usually, like this is usually after lacrosse practice or something right now. So I'm either having, the 3 C's, Cane, Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, anything really, like steak, sushi. I mean, my boys go out, or, I just keep it simple and clean. I'll come home, whip up something, and but it's a big meal. Like, it's super satisfying. I'm not, and that's the beauty of it. Like, with this model, I don't have to, eat these little meals. Oh, I'm cutting, dude. Oh, I had to eat these diet foods. Oh, I gotta nothing in this list right here. Like, do I not enjoy eating? Nothing. I choose to eat 4 eggs. I choose to have this shake. It's delicious, dude. Like, this is what I find enjoyment in. And if you don't want the filler meal, get rid of it. Like, get rid of the filler meal if you're not worried about it. I personally just enjoy the filler meal. If you don't want to cook your eggs in butter and go even like deeper in the deficit, or throw it in your meal too, do that. For me, this is just what works, dude. And that's, what I like to do. So phase 4, you should still want to improve eventually. So I know the title of the video says year round, and it's true, but when you're cutting, you don't really make gains, dude. Like, when you're in deficit, you don't really make gains in the gym for people who lift weights. And that's the truth, right? When you get to the level of body fat you like, and you start eating at maintenance to maintain that weight while fasting, you will make minimal, if any, gains in the gym, right? So you have to see it as everything is to solely maintain, not to improve. So I recommend reducing volume in the gym when cutting, and doing the bare minimum style in the gym. You can do your own research on that, and I might make a video in the future. But of course, just still be doing intense sets and stuff like that. So, what does this mean, right? Like, it means however which way you just took what I said, right? Like, there's 2 ways to look at things, like half glass full, half glass empty. So it's, oh, wow, I could do less in the gym. My diet is lenient now, and I could never have to bulk again. Or, well, I mean, being shredded is awesome, but I still want to improve and put on new muscle. So look, I'm a big believer in seasons. This is my plan moving forward. So bulk, I'm going to bulk from September to February. I'm going to do like the traditional kind of like 5 meals a day, kind of reduce the food slowly from February to May. Then when I kind of get to the levels where I'm just hungry all the time, or just whatever, I'm going to ride the fasting wave through June and August, in the summertime. So that's just my plan moving forward. Take it how you want. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's the end of the presentation. If you enjoyed the video, please just drop a like, subscribe, and also just share it with a friend. Also, just feel free to leave any questions in the comments. I really do want to start posting more on YouTube, putting some valuable information out on there. And yeah, thank you guys.